Hello everybody, it's Scott here at Asperia Fitness Center with Corporate Fitness Works. I'm walking you guys through our mobility and more class for today. So I hope you guys are ready to get some mobility and stretching and a little bit of strengthening going. We're focusing today on our thoracic spine, our T-spine in between our shoulder blades, our mid-back. That can be rounded a lot if we're sitting at a desk like many folks are. And we're focusing on hips today as well. So hopefully you guys are ready to move. We will spend some time on our knees, on our mat for our hip mobility. So if you want an extra pillow or an extra mat that you have that you can provide yourself for some support on your knees, you're going to want to go ahead and grab that. Other than that, behind me, all you see is I have one lighter dumbbell here. This is a 12-pound dumbbell. We'll use this for a few movements for the mobility portion, just one or two, and then we're going to use it right towards the end for a little bit of strengthening for our core to finish us off. So if you've got something light, a smaller dumbbell will be great, 6, 8, 10, 12 pounds, somewhere in that range, or just a small household object that you want to hold on to. That'll be great. Other than that, you just need your body weight and some mat space here. And you'll see behind me I've got this bench. I'm just going to sit on this to start for a few things. So you don't have to have a bench if you have an ottoman, or you can sit on your couch or a coffee table, anything you got that you want to sit on. You can also just sit right on the floor on your mat, whatever's comfortable for you. We're going to start seated there. We're going to work through some mobility for our T-spine, our lats and our back, then we'll move to our hips and our groin, then we'll finish with a little bit of a strengthening circuit for those target areas as well. So we're just going to start on the timer for our neck and shoulders as we move our way down the body. Just going to do some classic circles with our neck here. So we're just going to do some nice gentle circles. We'll start one direction, we'll switch directions, then we'll have some different movement types for the neck so we can help get that loosened up for you and keep on moving down. So we're going to spend 40 seconds doing direct circles in our first direction. That timer is ticking now, so just some nice slow circles all the way up and around, feeling the end range of motion in our neck where we might feel some tightness. And if we have a little tight spot, it's okay to spend a little extra time right there, running through those large circles here. Just taking it nice and gentle as we loosen up. Exhale, blow all our air out here. We want to get our shoulders away from our ears. Drop those traps down, so if we're feeling like we're hunching up, we want to relax those shoulders down. So take time to do that now. We've got a few more circles here before we switch directions. One more big circle, feeling those tight spots. Good, so we're going to start our circles in the other direction now. And just remember, we want to breathe out, exhale, relax. Try and drop our shoulders away from our ears. We can kind of unconsciously get shrugged up there without even knowing it. So we're starting our circles, big wide circles in the opposite direction, trying to stretch through that end range of motion at all of our points. If we have a little tight spot, we might spend another extra second or two there just exhaling and working through that tight spot. Otherwise, we're going to keep these circles going for 20 more seconds or so. Make these really big, wide circles. One more reminder to get those shoulders away from your ears if we've started shrugging up through this process. Exhale, blow all your air out, relax those shoulder blades down, drop shoulders away from our ears. Let's get one or two more big circles here, and we'll move on to our next movement. Last one, good. We're coming back to center here. Shake those shoulders out, roll your shoulders around a few times. If we felt like we were shrugging them up, we want to note that and try and keep those away from our ears. So we're tucking those down into our back is what we think about there. So for our next 40 seconds, we're going to do lateral flexion, and that is trying to get our ear to our shoulder, but we're going to do it by bending our head down and keeping that shoulder. So if you want to hold on to the bottom of your thigh here, or perhaps onto the bottom of your chair, hold on to your bench, whatever you've got to keep that shoulder from shrugging up, we can do that. And so now we're just going to lean. We can do both. Actually, we're going to hold on both arms, of course, right? We're just leaning side to side here, holding onto our chair on the bottom or on the bottom of our legs. We can sit on the palm of our hand if we need to as well. That's going to help keep our shoulders from shrugging up during this process. And we should feel a nice, strong pull at the trapezius muscle there, those big muscles along the side of our neck. So we're going to keep working through this range of motion for another 15 seconds. We're keeping those shoulders down. We're holding on to the bottom of our chair or our legs so we can really allow the neck muscles to stretch out as we go from side to side here. One or two more on each side, and we'll keep on moving down the line here. So let's go ahead and relax. Good. Roll those shoulders out again if you need to. Shake them out. We're going to take a few more seconds here, and our last movement for the head is just rotations. So we're looking over our shoulder on each side. We can continue, if that helped our shoulders, to either sit on our hands, hold on to the bottom of your chair, or something that we can cue our arms to stay down rather than gradually having them shrug up as we look around. So we're doing our last 40 seconds or so, 45 seconds here. We're holding on to the bench so our arms stay low, shoulders stay down, and we're twisting our head side to side, looking over our shoulder. Feeling that stretch as we get to that end range of motion. Exhaling, feeling that stretch, trying to push just past the point of comfort on that stretch. If we're causing any pain here, we want to stop and relax, but we do want to just try and push just barely past that point of discomfort on each side. One or two more turns to each side, feeling that stretch, keeping those shoulders down away from our ears. Once more on each side there, and last turn. Really stretch it, exhale, good, and relax. Take one more big breath in and out. Relax the shoulders a few more times. Take a couple more circles if we need to. Relax those traps. We're going to go ahead and get down onto our tabletop position, our all fours, and we're going to do some cat-cows next. And from here, we're going to start our rep-based exercises for whole body, T-spine, our mid-back, and our groin. So everything we do basically from here on out is going to have a 12 rep limit, right? So 12 reps is our magic number today, and we're going to do starting that with our cat-cows. So we're in our tabletop position here, and we start by exhaling and driving our back up to the sky, rounding our back, really feeling that stretch and mobility in between our shoulder blades. And then we take a big breath in, and we extend our stomach down to the ground, and we try and arch that back and look up forward. And we're going to go ahead and keep that transition going. So we're back to our second rep, rounding our back, driving our shoulder blades, pushing that rounding back up to the sky with the exhale. And now we inhale, fill our stomach, push our stomach out as we arch our back, feel those abs stretch a little bit, and keep on moving. Good. So on to number 3 here, rounding our back, blowing all our air out, really driving our back up to the sky. And then we breathe in and fill that stomach up, arching our back. Good. And we exhale, rounding up for number 4. Good. Breath in as we arch our back. Exhale on the way back up to round our back to the sky. Big breath in, filling our stomach, arching our back. And exhale as we blow out. We are rounding our back up to the sky. Here's number 6, so we're halfway through here, driving those rounded back up. And one more big breath in. And we fill our stomach, stretching our abs, rounding our back a little bit. We're halfway through here, so take a quick break, reset your position if we need to, get off those hands, knuckles, wherever we are, relax our wrists for just a second. We're going to finish our back half of our 12 reps, so we got 6 more at each position. And we're going to keep it going. So get back in our tabletop position, whatever's comfortable for you. Get that big breath prepared. And here we go. So we're inhaling, arching our back, lowering our stomach toward the ground. We're reversing our order here, that's okay. And then we're going to exhale and arch our back up to the sky. If you'd like to continue going where we were already at, that's okay. We've reversed our order and that's just fine. We're still going to get 6 at each position to finish the back half of our reps. Big inhale, fill your stomach, forcing our stomach down to the mat, arching our back, looking forward. And we exhale up to the sky. Blowing our air out, arching our back way up to the ceiling. Good. Big breath in. Filling our belly. Arching our back. Good. And we blow our air out as we exhale and round our back to the ceiling. Blowing all that air out and really forcing our back up. Almost there. We got 3 more in each position. Stay with me here. Big breath in. Exhale and round up. 2 more reps. Big breath. Let's get that big breath in here. Filling your stomach. Pushing that stomach down toward the mat as we arch our back as best we can. And blowing our air out. Rounding our back to the ceiling. And we've got our last one here through the cycle. Big breath in for the last time. Arching that back as best we can. And exhale. Round it to the ceiling for the last time. Drive those shoulder blades down to the mat, rounding our back up, and relax. Great job. We're just returning to our tabletop position or seated. Give those hands and wrists a break again if we're leaning on those, right? We're sensitive in that area. We're going to go ahead and move on down the line. So we're going to start with our back muscles and our lats here and our T-spine, getting some mobility in our upper chest and mid-back, where we feel like our shoulders are rounded forward, or we feel like we're always just feeling like our chest is caving in. We need to stretch that and open it up a little bit. We're going to work on that T-spine. So first and foremost here, we are just starting flat on our back, and we're doing one arm at a time, and we're going to do a thumb drive, shoulder extension here. As we go over the top of our body, we're going to do thumbs down, and we try to get that thumb to touch. If we can get there, great. If not, we're feeling probably a nice tight pull in our mid-back and our lats along our body. So I want you guys to go as far as we can go comfortably, and then we're bringing it back. And we're going to do 12 on each arm. Nice and slow and controlled here. Feet can be flat, or we can have our feet legs can be laid out, our feet are flat on the ground, however you're comfortable here. The goal is to keep our shoulder blade tucked down as best we can and extend over, feeling that stretch in our lats and everywhere along our side of our armpit there, and returning to our waist. Every rep, we're going to keep going for 12 here. Feeling like our shoulder and our lats and underneath our arm are really tight, so we just want to go as far as we can go comfortably. Hopefully that range of motion will expand as we increase our reps. We'll get a little bit closer to touching that thumb down every time. We're going to keep it on going. That was number 4. We got to get to 12. Tap that thumb if you got it. Otherwise, we're going as far as we can go. Here's number 6. Up and over, keeping that shoulder blade in position. And thumb is down. Halfway there. Reposition yourself if you need to. We're going to keep it going. Squeezing our shoulder blade. Feeling all those muscles in our back and our shoulder blade stretch. And we come back. We're halfway there. Controlling our breathing, so we're inhaling on the way back over here, and then we exhale as we reach up and over. 3 more on this arm, and we'll switch arms here. We're getting through the 12, so there we go, we got 3 more. Exhaling as we're going up over the top. Feeling the stretch in the shoulder blade, and return as we inhale. 2 more. Tap that thumb. We hopefully are getting close now, or we at least increased our range of motion. Big inhale for the last one. We're exhaling all the way back, squeezing that shoulder blade down. And we got to tap with our thumb. Good. We're switching to our other arm. Let's keep it moving. Same position here. We're just switching to our other arm. We're still going to exhale on our way up and over. Squeeze that shoulder blade. Get as far as we can go comfortably. And we're inhaling on our way back down. Hopefully we can push ourselves just past our little bit of point of discomfort. We want to get a good stretch. If there's pain or shooting pain, tingling, any sensations like that, we want to stop. But if we're just feeling a little stretch, we want to try and push ourselves a little bit farther than we think we can. Exhaling, feeling that stretch, owning our shoulder blade movement here. Inhaling on the way back. Good, there's 3. Here's number 4 coming. Driving that shoulder, thumb down, squeezing our shoulder blade. Good, let's keep it moving. 5. Inhale on the way over. 6, exhale, blowing that air out, squeezing our shoulder blade, feeling all those muscles stretch. Halfway there. Take a quick rest if you need to. Grab a drink. Wiping our sweat if we have it. Keep it moving here. Halfway through, there's number 7, all the way up and over. We're feeling a nice pull in our lats and all those muscles behind our shoulder blade as well. Big breath in on the way over to our starting position. 3 more to go here. Thinking about our breathing is very important for this mobility, where our ribs are doing what our chest is doing. Frees up our spine as well, right? So 2 more here. Blow that air out on the way up and over. Hopefully we're getting that thumb close if we're not touching already. And the last one here. Exhale, blow that air out all the way. Squeezing our shoulder blade. Exhale, exhale, drive that thumb and press. Great job. We're coming right back to our relaxed starting position there. We're going to come up on our knees for a little bit of time. Back here in tabletop position or just in the kneeling position, whatever is comfortable for you here. So we can be fully kneeled, leaning up here. We can put our hand down here on the mat, or we can just go straight into tabletop position. And we're going to do some thoracic rotations now, driving the elbow on each side. So we've got 12 reps of this, just like everything else. Our magic number is 12. And we're driving that elbow up to the sky, rotating our chest with it, trying to get a lot of opening in our chest, rotating, squeezing that shoulder blade back on the top side as we move. So finding what's comfortable for you. If we can go here and we can go down and extend up, that's okay. If we're in tabletop, that's okay too. Whatever is achievable for you. Maybe a little combination of both. We're kind of hunched forward and we have a hand down. So we got to get 12 reps. Let's do it. So we're driving our elbow down to our palm, and we drive the elbow up, twisting our chest, open that up to the sky. There's 1. Still working on our breathing here. Exhaling as we drive the elbow up. 4. 5, really driving the elbow, squeeze it. Good, and returning back here. 6, halfway there. Don't be afraid to take this point, resetting the halfway mark there if we need to adjust our tabletop position or anything else. Otherwise, we're going to keep it going with our back 6 reps here. So we're getting that elbow down. Exhale as we drive it up. Open that chest as best we can. Here's number 2 of our back half of our set. 2. All the way down to that mat if you can. Driving up 3. 4. 2 more before we switch. 5. Really opening up that chest. Last one here. All the way up. Exhale. Drive that elbow up. And 6. Good. Nice job. We should be feeling like we're getting loose in that T-spine and chest area. If we have some restriction there, that's just something we want to work on. We can do these thoracic rotations. Spend a little bit more time in this T-spine top area if we want to play the video back. And repeat some of this mobility. These are great movements to open up that chest and shoulders from when we're hunched over and rounded at all times. So we're going to get our 12 reps on the other side. So whatever's comfortable for you in that full kneel, hunched back, we're in our tabletop position, whatever's attainable for you. And of course, maybe we're in between. We're kind of back on our heels, but we have our palm down, which is probably the most ideal, but I want you to do whatever is comfortable for you, of course, here. So we've got that hand behind our head, and we're doing the same thing. So we drive that elbow down, with our breathing in, then we exhale as we blow that air up. Feeling rotation all the way down our spine maybe here. If we're loose enough, if we're getting tight, that's okay. We just go as high as we can go and then return. I'm a little tighter on this side it seems today, so it's not letting me go quite as high, but that's what we want to work on. Number 3, we're exhaling all that air out. 4, really feeling the chest opening up here as well. 5, and 6, drive that elbow and squeeze. Good, that's halfway through our set. Let's take a break, reset your position if you need to. Grab a drink, wet your palate, wipe your sweat if you got any sweat going already. We're not moving too hard, but we still might work up a little bit of sweat. We are working after all. So we're getting our back half of our rotation sets here ready to go. We're driving, inhale, exhale, and drive it up. There's 1 of our back half of our set. Here's 2. Opening that chest and spine up. We should be feeling it now. Here's number 3. Blow that air out. Exhale. 4, 5, really drive that elbow. Last one. I'm getting some great movement in my spine. Hopefully you guys are feeling that as well. Last one, drive it up, push that elbow, and relax. Great job. We're gonna keep it moving for our upper body here. We're gonna go flat on our side here, laying down in the side lying position. From this position, we have 2 options. We can keep our knees together, or we can kick our bottom leg out and pull this over the top. This is going to get us a little bit more rotation in the spine. If we have one knee out, otherwise our knees are together, it's totally fine, whatever is comfortable for you and attainable in this position. And from here, we're going to do arcs, thumbs down the whole way over. And we're arcing up over our head. So the other arm is probably going to want to maybe hold our hips a little bit here. We arc back and then close that. So we're going to feel a lot in our shoulders and our chest. We'll get a good stretch in the chest and pecs here probably as we come over the top. We're really going to be stretching those pecs out. So again, we're just going arcing back as far as we can go comfortably, trying to keep the thumb down to the ground. All the way back, we want to follow that movement with our head. So follow your hand up and over, and then we're going to close it up. We've got 12 reps of that on each side, so we're going to take it away here. So if you want to kick that leg out, you can do that. Hold yourself down here. Your choice, whatever's comfortable. And we got thumbs down as the key. So we arc up over our head. Follow that thumb with our eyes as best you can. And close it. We got 12. Here we go. There's number 1. 2. We're doing our best to keep this knee down. It might pop up a little bit, but it'll hopefully stay down for you. Chest and shoulders are going to be really stretched on this one. Hopefully we don't have any pinching or anything like that. Something to take note of if we do. Thumbs down the whole time, best you can. It's going to get tough when you get on the back side, and that's okay. That's limiting our range of motion. It will get easier as we go along, so just try and add some of these reps into your daily movement, and we'll feel more loose in our top side, I bet. So really great stretch on the chest here as well. That's halfway. Three more. Here's number 10. Follow those with your eyes all the way up and over. Close it up, thumbs down the whole time. We got 2 more. Here's 11, all the way up and over. And last one for 12 before we flip over. 12, big arc all the way up. Keep that arm straight, thumbs down, look back towards that palm with that thumb, and close it back up. Awesome job, guys. We're feeling that shoulder joint waking up a little bit, hopefully here. We're going to do the same thing. We're flipping on over. Arcs on the other arm here. So take that same position, side lying position. Knees can be together. Hips and knees are at 90 degrees. Where we kick that bottom leg out and get a little more rotation in our lumbar spine here. Whatever is comfortable for you. You may need to make that adjustment middle of the session, and that's okay. And from here, we're going to hold that knee down, right? And we got thumbs down, and we're going up and over as best we can. Exhaling on the way over, of course, and we're following that thumb with our eyes as best we can, letting our head and shoulders rotate all over the top with it. Here's number 1. Here we go. 2. Really feeling that chest as we come over the top and extend that thumb back behind us. Hopefully you're feeling that as well. Blowing the air out. Inhaling on the way back to the return position so that we can exhale again freshly with a new breath. Exhale, follow it with our eyes, and close it. Here's our halfway point. Big exhale. Shoulder blades squeeze, thumb is down, chest is stretching. Good. We can take a quick break again here halfway through the set. We're going to keep it moving. Otherwise, if you need to take a break, that's okay. Reset your position. Adjust the knee if we need to. We got our back side of our set here. 6, thumb down, trying to keep that thumb as close to the floor as you can. Exhale on the way over. Big stretch on the chest. Our last 3 here. And here's our last rep. Really driving that thumb down. Big exhale, chest stretch, and close it up. Great, awesome job. We are going to keep moving down the line. 1 more here as we open up our chest and back, and we'll keep it moving. So we're going to go ahead and do our elbow drives, which we can be seated for this as well, or you can be on your mat, whatever is comfortable for you. Working on that little last bit of extension for our upper body before we move to our hips, and then we'll continue some strengthening at the end of our session. So 12 reps here. We're going to have arms are locked behind our head. We bring elbows in as close as we can, and we're going to tuck it around, and then we drive our elbows up to the sky for that extension. And we got 12 reps. There's number 1. So we're rounding down, stretching on the way down, letting our weight hang our head, and then we exhale and extend those elbows up to the sky. We got to get 4. This is a tough one, so just driving up as high as we can go comfortably, forcing the elbows up as best you can. Halfway there, reset if we need to. Make sure we're coming all the way down to round it out before we drive back up. A few more reps and we're moving on to our hips. We'll give our back a break. Two more to finish us off here. We're saying this is 11. We might have missed a rep. That's okay. We're going for 12. We're getting in the ballpark anyways, right? And we can repeat this a few more times if we need to. Last one, driving those elbows up. Good. We are going to move on to our hips and starting to loosen up our hips and thighs, inner groin, moving our hips around a little bit here. So we're starting on our feet for the first one, and we're just going to take a wide stance here, a little bit wider than our squat stance would be. We don't want to go quite all the way as far as we can go. We do want to widen. We want to be outside our hips and shoulders though, and we're just going to sink onto one leg, and we're doing 12 times on that side before we switch sides. So we're sinking in, getting a little bit of work in that quad, and we should be feeling a stretch in the straight leg on that thigh. So we're actively squeezing this glute if we can to get that knee to open up as we lean that way, and we got 12. Good, halfway there. Take a break if you need to. Let that quad rest. We're working hard over here, working on a little bit of balance, stability, single leg strength, everything here. We're still feeling that stretch, opening up our groin as well. Just a few more before we switch to our other leg. Good. We're getting to 12, we're close. We might do a bonus rep. We're calling this 12. Hopefully you're getting 12 at home or close. Like I said, that's our magic number. We're getting as close as we can. All right, go ahead and shake those legs out. We're doing the same thing on the other side. So getting back into that wide base position. We're shifting our way to the other side, making that knee bend on that side, quad strengthening, a little bit of stretching in our inner groin there. As far as we can go, working on some strength in that plant foot as well. And of course, we're squeezing the glute as best we can on that side, opening that knee up. Feeling that pull definitely on the inner groin there. So we're just going out as far as we can go comfortably, feeling that deep stretch. Halfway there, reset your stance if you need to. Big breath in and out. We got 6 more coming. 1. We're remembering to drive this knee out back behind us as best you can too as well. Here we go, there's 2. 3, big lean as far as we can go. Good, we got 3 left. Shifting in there, opening up that knee, stretching here. 2 more, here we go. Last 2, feeling like we're already opening up the groin a little bit here. And last 1 for 12. Great job. We're working our way down. We're gonna keep targeting that inner groin area there. And we're gonna be back into our familiar tabletop position here. We're kicking our leg out to the side. We want to keep our toe pointed forward. And we're going to sink back onto our heel for 12 reps here. So we should exhale and we feel that deep stretch on the inner thigh there. Really tight for lots of folks, so hopefully you'll feel that. We exhale. Keep our toe as forward as we can. Just deepening that stretch we were just working on a little bit. Exhaling as we sit back on the heel. Hopefully we get a little bit more range of motion with every rep. Sinking back a little farther, we're just over halfway. Three more before switch here. 10. 2 more. Blow that air out. Sit back as far as we can go. Toe points forward. Good. And the last one for 12. Sinking back on that heel. Big stretch all the way down to the inside of the knee there, hopefully. Good. And we're going to kick that leg back. Switch sides. And we got 12 reps on the other side here. So we're back in that familiar tabletop position. Kick the other leg out. And we sink back as we exhale for 1. Toe stays pointed forward. 2. 3. 4. Don't forget to exhale. The breathing is very important. It'll help you get that little extra range of motion we're working on. Halfway there, reset if we need to. Otherwise, we're going to keep going. Exhale, 7, sinking back, feeling that stretch all the way down from the groin to our knee. Here's 10. Blow all that air out, sink back. 11. And 1 more for 12. Great job. We're feeling that inner thigh get a great stretch. We're going to move on to get a little bit of stretching in our glutes. Hopefully we're sticking with the hips, lower body a little bit here. So we're coming into this position here. You can't see my legs too well. I'm black on the mats here, but I'm in what we call our 90-90 position. So I've got a 90-degree bend at my knee here, up this way, and this one is out here, 90 degrees roughly that way. It doesn't have to be perfect, but we've got two kind of box shape situations here with our upper body. So we want to use our hands to support ourselves if we can, if we need it. If we can go no hands, that's great too. That's going to be a challenge. We want to do leaning. We're going to lean 12 times forward over this knee, then we turn to the side, and we're going to lean 12 times that way. We won't get a ton of range of motion that way, but that's okay. That's just the nature of our hip socket, but we do want to try and get some movement that way. So we're starting over our front leg, our foreleg, whatever you want to call it here, and we're leaning forward, hands for support if you need to, and we're feeling a good pull on the outside of the hip and the glute there. So we got to just do the same thing here. We're going through 12. Leaning as far as we can go comfortably. Try to keep your chest and shoulders tall. You don't just want to hunch towards it, right? So keep a proud chest and just drop forward as best you can. So work through that range of motion. We're feeling tightness everywhere. That's okay. If you can only lean forward an inch or two, that's great. Work with what you got, right? So we're on number 4 here, leaning forward, deep stretch, trying to keep that tall, proud chest. Good, here comes number 7. Going as close as we can to the ground, comfortably, feeling that glute stretch. And of course, we're exhaling on the way down, breathing in on the way back up. Just a few more here, there's 10. 2 more, and we're gonna lean the other way. 11. And last one here for 12. Great. Okay, here comes a little bit more challenging one. We might feel some pinching or cramping here on this leg. We're in a weird position there, so we're not going to get too much of a range of motion on this thing. So if we've got to kick your leg out, that's okay. Just get into that position there. We won't have as much support with our hands, but we do want to do our best to just lean a little bit that way as we go. So pre-position that. I started to get a little pinch there already because I was just stuck in this position for a while. So if you get to do that, it's okay. And we don't have much hand support, but we can have our hands back behind us here if we want to. And we're going to try and lean as best we can over to that leg and feel that hip working as well. So if you got to kick your leg out and reset it, that's okay. Small range of motion, we already know that, right? So we're just doing our best to lean toward that knee. We're on the back leg now here, leaning towards that for number 3. It's not going to want to let you go. That's okay. We're just going to exhale and do your best to get as closely leaned forward as we can for number 4. And we're going to work through it. We can expand this range of motion over time if we're feeling like we don't move at all. We should be feeling it up in that hip joint. That's halfway. So if you want to kick the leg out and reset it, go ahead. Otherwise, we're going to keep on moving. We're exhaling, leaning toward that back leg as best we can. Feeling a little pinch at the top of the hip, probably doing our best to work through that. We got 3 more, and we're going to flip our hips and do the same thing. 10, 11, and last one before we flip. 12, good. Not a lot of range of motion again right there, but we did feel some action at the hip, and that's what we want. So we're flipping our position. So now we've got our legs the opposite way, right? So now my leg that was in the back is now in the front. My other leg is kicked out to the side back here in the back. So same idea. We're going to use our hands for support on our knuckles or on our palms, whatever is comfortable for you. And we're leaning forward, trying to keep that tall chest, dropping our chest forward as best we can, feeling that good stretch on the glutes here on this one especially, right? Exhaling on the way down. Here's number 4, good. Leaning forward slowly, breathing out, big stretch on the glute. Return, take a breath in at the top. Exhale, 5. Tall chest. If we need to reset it, pull those shoulders back. Proud tall chest here for number 6. Good, and resetting if we need to. Here's our halfway point. So take a breath, grab a drink, whatever you need to do. We're gonna keep on going. Number 7, leaning forward, feeling a nice pull on the back of the hip there, which is what we want. Supporting our hands with our hands as much as we can. 8. Exhaling for 9. Last 3, here we go. Leaning forward, big breath out. 10, 11, and last one, leaning forward, big breath out, exhale, blow it all out for 12. Great job. We're gonna go for that other side now. This is the tough one. We can't lean very far, but we're gonna do our best. We've got our hands behind us here. If we need it, we're feeling a stretch on the inner groin, pinch at the top of the hip. Kick the leg out if you need to. We're gonna go right into our 12 here as best we can, leaning toward that back leg now. 1, 2, good. 3, leaning with that tall chest as best we can. Again, we're not getting far. You'll see I'm only really going a couple inches. That's restriction at the hip, that's okay. We're just doing our best to exhale and lean and feel that hip. Halfway point there. If you need to reset or kick that leg out, go ahead and do it. Take a big breath in, and we're gonna exhale, finishing our last 6. 1, 2, feeling a great stretch on the inner hip there. 3, almost there, 3 more to go, leaning. 4, 5, and last one for 6. Great job. We are out of that 90-90 position. Moving on to our last hip-specific mobility on each side. And then we're going to go through our little mini circuit to strengthen some of these areas that we've been working on. So we're finally grabbing this weight that we were thinking about earlier, right? So just a light amount of weight is fine. We don't need too much. The weight is not going to do much for us here, but we're going to come into our half kneeling position. And I've got my foot open pretty wide here, and that's the goal. We're going to continue stretching our groin here. So we're holding the weight right in front of us. The weight is not going to do much other than just to cue us to keep our chest tall. So if this weight's coming down here and touching the mat, bad. This is good, this is bad, right? So we got to keep our hips tall, chest tall, and we're just sinking toward that knee. And we're getting 12 reps over there. So we're feeling all over the inner groin there, stretching hips. And of course, we want to drive this knee back to open up that hip there as well. So we're squeezing that knee back, pulling as best we can. We're going for 12. We're saying that's number 2. Here's number 3. Big lean. 5. Exhale, of course, on the way down. 6. Exhale, keep driving that knee back. 7. 8. 9. Just a few more here. Keep that knee driving backwards. Keep exhaling. 10. 11. And one more before we shift our kneeling position to the other side. And there's 12. Great job. We're switching our kneeling position, so kicking that other leg out. And again, we want to go pretty wide. We don't have to be completely 90 degrees, but we don't want to be up here. We want to be able to give ourselves some room to open up a little bit. And again, our weight is just cueing us to keep it tall, so if we find our weight's getting way down here, got to keep it up, right? So here we go. Same idea. We're exhaling, leaning into it. Drive that knee backward for 1. Good. Staying tall at the chest and arms. 2, 3, great job. 4, 5, 6, halfway. Reset if you need to. Get off that knee if it's bothering you. We got our back half. We're going to keep on moving. Squeezing that knee back. 7, here it comes, number 8. Exhale, driving the knee back behind you. 9, 10. 2 more here. Get that knee back working. 11 and 12. Good. Okay, we're tossing the weight aside for just a minute. We'll come back to that here briefly. We're going to go through our little mini circuit here, 12 reps of each. We got a few moves alternating between our upper and lower here that we just worked on our T-spine and our hips, so we're going to keep on doing that. We're going to start strengthening a little bit and get some more movement in there. So our first one is a prone T. We're face down, thumbs up, and we're lifting, squeezing shoulder blades. We're in this T position. So as we lay down flat, we're pulling up, arms off the ground, squeezing shoulder blades. So we got to do 12 reps of that. And we're going to take it right away, going right into that. And we're going to come up into a half kneeling hip position again for that. So we'll do T's, then we do Y, and then we do I. And in between each of those has a hip position. So we're flat on our mat here, face down. So if we want to put something under our forehead to rest it, that's great. Otherwise, we'll go flat on the mat. Arms are out to the side for thumbs up to the sky for T's. We're doing 12 T lifts here. Without further ado, 1, 2, squeezing the shoulder blades, driving up. 3, pinching those back so that we get our arms up off the mat. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, almost there, 3 more, 10, 11, last one, big squeeze for 12 in the T. Great job. We're coming back to our 90-90 position that we were just in for our hips. And we're going to use a little bit of support from our lower body, or for our arms, I'm sorry, if we need to. And from here, so this will be a tough one. If we need something by your side, maybe your bench or something to help you lift up, but from here, we're in the 90-90 position, and then we're just going to come up like so. So we got to squeeze our rear end to get us lifted up. And we're doing 12 of those. So hands on the mat for a little support's fine. As we come up, 1, just like that. 2, so we want to squeeze glutes to push our hips forward at the top of that. 3, 4, 5, 6. Take a break in the middle if we need to. We're going to keep moving. Don't forget your hand support a little bit if you need it. 7, squeeze, and we're feeling all this working. Glutes are working. 8, 9, hands up, hands free if you can do it. It's tough. 10 if we've got the hip strength. Otherwise, we're keeping hands down to the mat for a little bit of support. There's 11, and last one, big squeeze for 12. Good. So you're going to want to remember which leg you had forward. I had my right leg forward. We're going to reverse that for the next one. We go straight to our prone position again. And this time we're in a Y position. We did T's last time, so now we're in the Y with a big squeeze. So same idea, face down on the mat, resting our head on something, a towel rolled up if we need to, and we've got 12 prone Y lifts. So now we're squeezing the shoulder blades, arms are in the Y position, we got 12 reps. So let's take it away. Make sure we're squeezing those shoulder blades. Halfway there, here's number 7. Last rep for 12 in the Y. There's our Y. Awesome. Back to our 90-90 position with your other leg forward this time. And we've got our 12 lifts from this position. So we're squeezing the glutes, driving up off the mat here. Hands or fingers for a little bit of support. Up and squeezing. It's a little bit tighter on my hip here. So this is tough for me on this side. But we're still working through it as best we can, right? And we've got hands down to help us. Number 3, big squeeze everywhere here to force my hips forward. comes number 6. Halfway there, reset if we need to. We're gonna keep going. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, last one for 12. Great job. One more on our prone position for our I. So we did our T, we did our Y, and now we're doing I. So arms are straight forward, lifting those thumbs up. And we're gonna keep it moving right down the line. All right. 12 I lifts. Squeezing shoulder blades as best we can to lift those arms up, thumbs up to the sky. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, last one for 12 is 12. Great. And for our last one for this pair, we want our weight again. And this is what we do with the weight. We're doing a full kneeling squat now. So we have both knees down, we sink down. So whatever weight you've got, we're gonna help us load it. So that could be here, a little bit more challenging, up overhead. So that's all we do. We sink back onto the heels, and then a big glute squeeze at the top. And we might feel a little bit of tightness in our hip flexors and quads, and that's just working on that hip extension, changing the position of this hip and our knees when we are in this that tall top position. So I'm gonna go overhead with my weight. You can hold it wherever you want. We'll do one set of 12 here, and then we're gonna run through that whole thing one more time to finish you guys up. And if you'd like to repeat that little bit of strength bit for that 12 rep circuit once more, go right ahead and do that. We're just gonna stick with 2. We've got our weight going for the last movement here, just like we talked about. We're going up overhead, so we're sinking onto the heels. Big glute squeeze and drive it up. 12 reps here is number 2. 3, 4, 5, 6. Drop the weight if you need to. We're getting a little bit of shoulder and chest work right up overhead here. We're finishing our last back half of this. Three more to go. We're going to relax those arms. 3. To big squeeze in the glutes. Push those hips forward. 2. And the last one. Arms are getting tired up here maybe, right? And 1. Good. Relax. Okay. So that takes a little bit of effort, right? 1, just holding up at the shoulders, and also we're working on that extension of the T-spine as we hold the weight overhead. Hopefully you've got the weight there. If we've got a mod down to right here, and just keep it with their hips, and just use a little bit of upper body strength to hold the weight, that's fine. So hopefully that weight's appropriate for you. If you want to ramp it up for the last one, you can go grab a heavier weight, but we want to be focused more on what our hips and glutes are doing, and just having some weight to hold up than really overloading the pattern. So we're going to run through that whole block one more time, starting with the prone T's, and then we'll end with our last set of kneeling squats with the weight, and then we'll be all set to go, and you'll be free to repeat that one more time, maybe 2 more times on the bottom part of that circuit if you so choose. But we're going to take it through one more time, 12 reps each. Prone T starts right now. Here we go. Flat on our stomachs here, supporting our forehead if we want to with a towel or something. Thumbs out to the side, big squeeze with our shoulders. Prone T. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Halfway there, relax and reset if you need to. We're going to keep moving. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Great job. That back's starting to feel like it's working right now. Back to our 90-90 position. taking note of which one of our legs is forward, supporting ourselves with our hand a little bit if we need to, and we're coming up into a kneel with our legs sprawled apart here. So we got to get 12. Big squeeze in the glutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, keeping it going, 8, 9, almost there, 10, hips and glutes are fatiguing a little bit, 2 more, 11, and for 12, great job. Back down our mat, we're gonna keep on moving right through this here, face down. We got prone Y's. Now that we know what we're doing a little bit, we're gonna knock the back half of this out here. Prone Y's for 12, hip lifts for 12 on the other one, and then we've got our I's and our kneeling squats with the weight reintroduced here. We're taking our 12 Y's. Let's go face down here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2 more, big Y's, 11 and 12. Those are getting tough, right? Our back's starting to fatigue. We're almost there. 1 more set of those I's coming up, and we're relaxing. So we're back in our hip lift position. Opposite leg is forward now. And we got to get our 12 lifts. We're on the home stretch here, so let's keep it moving. 1, 2, hand support if you need it. 3, 4, 5, 6, halfway there, reset if you need to. 7, 8, almost there, let's go, finish it up. 9, 10, 11, and last one for 12. 12th rep, awesome job. Those hips are fatiguing as well. We got 1 more of each, 1 more set of I's, and 1 more of our kneeling squats with that weight up overhead if we can get it. Let's knock these 12 I's out and finish up for the day. Here we go. There's 6, almost there. Let's go, last half. 7, 8, big squeeze in those shoulder blades. 9, we've got a little bit left. 10, 11, and 12. Those eye lifts, our back is fatigued. We've got 1 more set of 12 up here on our feet, our kneeling squat. And we've got that weight overhead if we can get it there, working on that T-spine extension. Otherwise, we're right here under our chin, or maybe we're at our waist, or maybe we have no weight at all, just working on the glute squeezes here. But we got 12. Let's go. 1, 2, and we're getting that big glute squeeze, right? 3, trying to keep the weight as perfectly overhead as we can as we sink down. 4, that T-spine extension we've been practicing today. 5, 6, halfway there. Drop the weight or reset if you need to. Arms are getting tired, our back's tired, and our glutes are tired for sure, our hips as well. So we're finishing up our last 6 reps. Big squeezes. 1, 2, 3, come on, 3 more. 4, 5, and our last one. There's 12 reps total. Woo! We're dropping the weight. Great work, you guys. We got these hips and back really working today. Hope you guys are feeling loose. Hopefully that was achievable for you folks. We did 2 rounds of our 12 rep mini circuit down there at the bottom. We feel pretty fatigued already at the back from all of our movement and then adding that in. If you're looking for a little extra, feel free to knock out 1 or 2 more rounds of that mini circuit. Prone, T's, Y's, and I's with those hip lifts and the kneeling squats, getting these glutes and hips really fired up. So repeat those last 2 rounds if you need to. I hope you guys got a good workout. I worked up a little sweat towards the end there. We were working hard on that mini circuit. So hopefully this was a great workout for you guys. We're learning ways to open up our chest and T-spine and these hips. Hopefully you're feeling nice and loose. As always, guys, leave me some comments down below. Give me a like on the video. Let me know what you liked about today's class, a new exercise or a place we're feeling tight. I love hearing from you guys, so please leave me that information. Other than that, we hope to see you back in the fitness center soon. I'm Scott with Corporate Fitness Works here at Asperia Fitness Center. This was Mobility and More, T-Spine and Hips edition, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day.